The piece of music you just viewed and listened to was written by Michael Barnes, who is a musician, and his mother is Linda Horvey. She was very proud of her son and wanted to share his music. He gave permission to share it freely. And please check out his website. He has amazing things he creates. We are Unitarian Universalists. We celebrate the historic faith with a radically progressive theology, which calls us to love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Our faith also reminds us that the spark of hope can never be extinguished. I think I need to read that line again. The spark of hope can never be extinguished. Though we are physically distant during this time, we still join in community and we are gathered and glad. We welcome those who are joining us from all across Kentucky this morning and those joining us from across our country. Whoever you are, whatever your race, age, creed, economic status, ability, disability, gender expression, or sexual orientation, wherever you are on your life journey, we welcome you. We wish to know you and look forward to your company here at UUCL. You are exactly where you need to be for the next hour. Our minister, Reverend Brian Chenoweth, is on a mini sabbatical for the month of October and will return November 1st. Should you need to contact a minister, Reverend Esther Hurlbert and Reverend Diana Holtgren will be providing ministerial support. For pastoral care, please contact our pastoral associates, pastoral@uucl.org. As our service begins, here are some helpful reminders around Zoom. You're encouraged to use the chat function during the chalice lighting and joys and sorrows. The chat will be turned off during the rest of the service. You can still reach out to our tech ushers and they will be monitoring the service and be happy to answer any questions. Today's tech ushers are Rachel and Max. Thank you for your service. If you have your camera turned on, be mindful that others can see you. Our tech ushers will turn off your camera if it's distracting to other attendees. Treat this online space as a sanctuary, just as you would when we are in person. If for whatever reason there's a technology mishap on your end or ours, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, the Blessing of the Animals will be made available on YouTube and in podcast format by Monday morning at the latest. Welcome again. You are exactly where you need to be for the next hour.
If I could talk to the animals, just imagine it, chatting to a chimp in chimpanzee. Imagine talking to a tiger, chatting to a cheetah. What a neat achievement that would be. If I could talk to the animals, learn their languages, maybe take an animal degree. I study elephant and eagle, buffalo and beagle, alligator, guinea pig and flea. I could converse in polar bear and python, and I would curse in fluent kangaroo. If people asked me, can you speak rhinoceros? I'd say, of course. Can't you? If I conferred with our furry friends, man to animal, think of the amazing repartee. If I could walk with the animals, talk with the animals, grunt and squeak and squawk with the animals, and they could talk to me. If I could talk to the animals, think what fun I'd have asking more crocodiles for tea. Or maybe lunch with 2 or 3 lions, walruses and sea lions, What a lovely place the world would be if I spoke slang to orangutans. The advantages any fool on earth can plainly see. Discussing Eastern art and dramas with intellectual llamas. That's a big step forward, you'll agree. I'd learn to speak in antelope and turtle. My Pekingese would be extremely good. If I were asked to sing in hippopotamus, I'd say, why not of us? And would. If I could parlay with pachyderms, it's a fairy tale worthy of the Anderson sheep. The man who walks with the animals, talks with the animals, grunts and squeaks and squawks with the animals, and they can talk to me.
Hello, this is Stephen Conger. I have to say right off the bat, I've been a semi-professional musician for over 50 years. That is some of the absolute worst microphone work I've ever seen, but it is what it is. What can I say? Mea culpa. All right, so I'm serving as your worship associate today. It is time now for our chalice lighting. I invite all of you to grab whatever's handy that you have as a chalice. I'll be using this nifty little number here. And assisting me today in our chalice lighting is the newest member of our family, who we just got yesterday. Her name, this sweet little flower, is named Marigold, and she is wonderful. She's still a little shy, but we're very happy to have her. So, our reading today is authored by Florence Kaplow, and it's entitled, or it is titled, All Animals Are Our Relatives. We light this chalice in honor of the animal realm, furred and hoofed, two-legged, four-legged, many-legged, fanged and clawed, gentle and fierce, wild and tame. May we remember that all animals are our relatives, worthy of our care and respect. Take it away, Sally.
We'll join together in singing our chalice lighting song. The eyes of religion, which like sunshine goes everywhere, its temple of space, its shrine the good heart, its creed of truth, its ritual works of love.
We begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land upon which our physical church was built, the Shawnee, Adena, and Hopewell, and pay our respects to their elders, past and present. We extend that respect to all Indigenous peoples present with us today. It is my honor to introduce Erin Stratton with our opening reading. She's one of our high school students and a talented writer. Take it away, Erin.
Thank you, Stacy. This is an ode to my wiener dogs. I would like to thank my dachshunds for supporting me throughout this quarantine. For those who do not know, dachshunds, aka wiener dogs, are long and short, so they resemble the hot dogs for whence they were named. It is also important to note that dachshunds are exemplary hunters who can dive into badger burrows and valiantly slay the small woodland creatures. This will come up later. But my dachshunds are rather lazy and usually have few worries throughout the day except sleeping and eating. So it goes without saying, they don't understand why we stay at home all day or what's going on, but that's okay. It's almost better because I don't feel obligated to talk about, feel about, or even think about what's going on. They're appreciative of the company and let me pet them regardless. So I would like to say thank you to Riley and thank you to Lucy. Lucy does not know what social distancing is, but she still barks at everybody who comes close to our house. And Riley does not know how bored I am, but he still comes and puts his snout on my foot just because he can. I am still angry that Riley chased a chipmunk into a drain pipe and ripped part of it off in his chaotic pursuit before he realized he was too chunky to fit into the drain pipe, but I forgive him. Sometimes having a disturbance in an otherwise stagnant schedule is appreciated. So this thank you goes out to my wiener dogs. A massive shift in your daily life makes you realize all the things that one might take for granted, and I never realized how glad my dogs are to see me when I come down in the morning. Even after I can go out again, I'll be sure to pet them every day, and that is because in a time of changing worldviews and uncertainty, to me there is one thing that is clear: there is nothing better than sitting under a windowsill and petting a dachshund. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Linda Combs, a member of UUCL. I'm happy to share with you all a bit about my journey with pet therapy dogs, both as a dog lover and a mental health specialist. Some UUCL members may remember meeting Sophie, pictured here, my first pet therapy dog. She volunteered in RE several times. Pet therapy dogs provide an amazing service, but they are not service animals. Rather, they give comfort and affection to people in typically stressful places, such as hospitals, nursing homes, schools, and airports, to name a few. Dogs are smart, but it's actually their eagerness to please and responsiveness to people that make them suited to provide support. In fact, this human-animal connection is mutually beneficial. Research has found that after positive interactions, oxytocin, that feel-good love hormone, levels spike for both dogs and humans. Any breed can be a pet therapy dog. Temperament is key. This job is not for dogs who are leery of strangers, nervous about unexpected sounds, or reactive to other dogs. Out of my family's 4 wonderful dogs shown here, only 2 could make the cut: Sophie and the little white lab Riley, following in her paw prints after her death. Pet therapy dogs thrive in highly stimulating settings. Sophie enjoyed performing agility in the UUCL's RE Circus with my son Scott, and Riley rocked out to the UU Band tunes. He may have even tried to sing. When Sophie worked at Baptist Health, UK College of Nursing, and various nursing homes, people's reactions, quick smiles, and easy conversations were so moving. Some patients even invited her into their bed. People were distracted from their pain and stress as they patted her, described their dogs, and reminisced about adventures they'd had together. At the end of her leash, I felt like I was with a rock star. People lit up. In fact, research has uncovered specific positive physical effects of interacting with the dog, including lowered heart rate and blood pressure, decreased cortisol levels, and increased levels of oxytocin. You don't have to start with a puppy to have an amazing pet therapy dog. Sophie was already an adult when I got her from the shelter. But puppies are fun. My son Philip sure had his hands full here. The challenges of puppies are enormous, and the rewards are just as big. Early training involved lots of socialization and exposure. Positive reinforcement, clicker training, made obedience work fun and deepened our bond. Riley easily learned to work on a loose leash and follow basic commands. Like us, dogs need plenty of time to relax, explore, and play with others. Riley's helped me provide animal-assisted psychotherapy pre-COVID. With the client's permission, I let him off-leash in my office during sessions. As a therapy partner, he performed a vital role. For example, once in an emergency session, a teen in crisis was brought in but wouldn't make eye contact or talk. Riley approached her gently. She began rubbing him. Soon she was smiling. Before too long, she was tossing him a ball. With her engaged and relaxed, my work could begin. Riley's instinct for how to connect with people is something that I have no way to teach him. That's just Riley. I'm sure he's more than ready for the COVID crisis to be over and get back in the office. For now, he's providing me with emotional support while I navigate the world of telehealth. I hope your pets are providing you comfort and joy during these difficult times. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Linda. That was a wonderful way to share your journey of therapy dogs with all of us. And I loved seeing those pictures of Sophie, dear Sophie, and adorable Riley, who's doing great work. And now on to joys and sorrows. A vital part of being in community with one another is when our joys and sorrows are shared. Our joys are multiplied and our sorrows or concerns that are weighing down our heart are shared with community. They're lifted. I would love to have the parents and caregivers of children who are present here today share the words of the children in the chat, as well as any adults who have something to share. Please keep in mind that this is a time for deep listening. And instead of responding in the chat or offering advice to the things that are shared, take this as an opportunity to reach out to someone and offer support in the days ahead. Send an email, mail a card, make a connection. Let us begin with the sharing of our joys and sparks of hope. And you may type those in the chat. Those are beautiful. Thank you. And now we can share our sorrows, our concerns which are weighing down our hearts. And just as in life, sometimes the joys and sorrows mix. Now take a breath. Seat yourself comfortably, feel your body sink towards the ground, and you can continue and fill the chat. For all of our hearts filled with worry, for the anxiety we're feeling about the government, for our sorrows of beloved pets, for our loved ones who are in the hospital. Breathe in. For the joyful blessings of health and progress and joy and love of our grounds and beloved sons returning from Israel, safely visiting our friends and family, the joys of homeschooling and finding new things to find pleasure in, and spending time with puppies and all of our beloved pets, animals in the wild, and our lovely grounds. We give thanks for all of the concerns that we hold so close to our hearts that we're not able to share in words. We feel you and are here for you. May you feel the blessings of our community. Breathe again. And now let us sing.
All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well.
Time now for our offertory. We invite you to give as much as you are able to today's offertory. Today, our Give Away the Plate recipient is, drum roll please, the African American Cemetery number 2 here in Lexington, which was established in 1869 by the Union Benevolent Society. Over 6,000 African American men, women, and children are interred in this cemetery, and 100 of them have been identified as soldiers who fought in the Civil War. The cemetery fell into disrepair during much of the 20th century. A number of members of this church have helped care for the graves under the leadership of our previous minister, Reverend Cynthia Kane. It is now managed by a nonprofit and is recognized as an important piece of Lexington and Kentucky history. And this is just one of many wonderful ways that you can acknowledge that Black lives matter.
It's okay to give in several different ways. You may give directly to the church. You may give directly through the text slide UCLGATP number 44321. Please give generously. Your donations are greatly appreciated.
In Memoriam. When Your Best Friend Has 4 or So Legs, by Reverend Teresa I. Soto. What it means to have a pet is to love someone who speaks a language you do not. A dog will bow and prance. A cat will purr and blink. A guinea pig will giggle and squeak. These are friends. They are loves. It's kind of a surprise that you should love someone so much who would eat the butter on the table if they could get away with it, and gets endless hair on the sofa when they aren't even supposed to be on the furniture. When they are called companion animals, it's such an open, tender truth. The comfort of fingers to fur and big, adoring eyes. These are friends. They are loves. They stretch our hearts and fill them with their abundance of kindness. When they are gone, our hearts remain larger, though their absence leaves room for expanses of grief. Their love champions and companions us still. Let us honor all the animals we have loved that have died, from our homes, from our hearts, and from our world. These lives were precious. These are friends. They are loves. They stretch our hearts and fill them with their abundance of kindness. When they are gone, our hearts remain larger, though their absence leaves room for expanses of grief. Their love champions and companions us still. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Deanna. That was a beautiful reading of a poem. So next we're moving on to our blessing of the animals. If you have an animal or a friend, a pet that you would like to bring closer, there will be an opportunity for us to share the screen so we can see all who are present today. Now, UUCL has been doing Blessing of the Animals for many years, not always every year. Today, October 4th, is World Animal Day, and our UU 7th principle is respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. We are honored today to have Nathaniel Hawker, UUCL member, pet lover, and seminary student, to lead us in the blessing of animals. If you don't have a pet, please think about animals you love or even a stuffed animal you can bring close to you.
Good morning, all humans. Let us breathe deeply this morning. Place your hands gently over your heart and imagine how love flows into you, up from the earth, down from the stars, flowing easily into your heart, until your heart is full. Now allow that love to spill over and flow into your hands, until you feel them full of love also. Still breathing love into your heart, and with your hands overflowing with love. Place your gentle hands on your animal friends at this time. Imagine your love flowing into them, or just let your hands down on your chair or wherever you may be. Imagine all of that love flowing into the animals that we also love. Repeat after me to our animals. I bless you. I love you. I thank you for being exactly who you are. May I be a blessing to you, as you are a blessing to me. Now you can give your animal a kiss, a stroke, a scratch, Let them loose to play or sleep. We know they're going to anyway. Meanwhile, keep breathing that love into your heart. And now breathe that love out through your feet. Breathe it down through the floor and into the ground, into the soil that runs deep and connects us to every place on earth. Send that love out to the creatures that crawl on the ground, all of our hidden friends, the insects, the moles, to the creatures that crawl or walk or slither on the earth, the lizards and the snakes, lions and elephants, and so many more. And to the creatures that live in the trees and soar in the sky, the squirrels, the birds, the jaguars, the tigers, and to the creatures that swim in the waters, fish of every kind, otters and whales, and creatures that swim so deep we have never even laid human eyes on them. To all those creatures, both known and unknown, let us say this together. I bless you. I love you. I thank you for being exactly who you are. May I be a blessing to you as you are a blessing to me. I invite you to take one more deep breath in and return to your natural breathing. Amen, ashe, and blessings to all of these beautiful animals.
Pardon me. We are going to create a song. Thank you, Nathan. I really wanted to participate in that blessing with my dog. So this is terrific. To create our song, we need to know one tune. And that is the tune that we often sing at church. It's the tune of For the Beauty of the Earth. So let's just sing the tune. We can hum it along just to familiarize ourselves. And while we're humming it, you be thinking of all the different animals that you have seen or heard on the grounds of UUCL. Okay, here we go. Do 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 do. We repeat that. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And if we could put in the chat, here's the words that we'll sing each time. And I think we should try to add on and see how many animals we can come up with all together. On the grounds of UUCL. I can type this in, or Stacy, are you typing this in perhaps? Okay. On the grounds of UUCL. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the first animal. No, someone give me an animal. What's the first animal that comes to your mind when you think of the grounds of UUCL? What have you got, Stacy?
It looks like we've got snakes, squirrels.
Snake. All right. Squirrels is what I had. Let's start with squirrels just because it fits so well, and then we'll start adding them in. I see different animals coming through. That's great. Okay, here we go. So it'll go like this. On the grounds of UUCL, I see whatever animal, 2 or 3, 4 animals, with tails to tell. All right, let's try that much. On the grounds of UUCL, I see squirrels with tails to tell. Then we have a little bit extra. We're still using squirrels. Oh, the joy of all these squirrels roaming 7 acres so free. So yeah, I don't know if we have that in the chat. Oh, the joy of all these, put in the animal, roaming 7 acres so free. The last two phrases, home of our community, home of our community, nature's home is sanctity. Yeah? Cool. All right, so we have squirrels. I'm going to look in the chat. The first animal I see listed is the one we'll go with. Aha, someone has a mouse? No, that's maybe not the grounds of UUCL. There we go, snakes. Okay, followed by ducks. Let's go ahead and add in two. We have squirrels, snakes, ducks, right? And if you haven't seen the ducks nesting on the grounds, it's really pretty cool. All right, here we go. On the grounds of UUCL, I see squirrels and snakes and ducks with tales to tell. Oh, the joy of all these squirrels and snakes and ducks, roaming 7 acres so free. Home of our community, nature's home is sanctity. Okay, we have squirrels, snakes, ducks. I see fox and crows also on the list. All right, here we go. We have squirrels, snakes, ducks, fox, crows. I've not gotten lucky enough to see a fox on our grounds, but I know they're there. So, cool. 5 animals. On the grounds of UUCL, I see squirrels and snakes and ducks and fox and crows. Did I get it? To tell, with tales to tell. Oh, the joy of all these squirrels and snakes and ducks and crows and fox, roaming 7 acres so free. Home of our community, nature's home is sanctity. All right. I don't know if I'm going to remember all of them. Maybe we should start a new verse. Let's start a new verse. Okay, this time we've got birds, turtle, and someone has written Teddy, which is Jennifer Crossan's big German shepherd who is frequently on our grounds. Yes. So we have turtle and birds. New verse. Turtle and birds. Then we'll add in the groundhogs. Here we go. Ready? And on the grounds of UUCL, I see turtles and birds with tales to tell. Oh, the joy of all these birds and turtles, roaming 7 acres so free. Home of our community, nature's home is sanctity. All right, I did see groundhogs, and I want to be sure and throw in the groundhogs. And yes, someone else has seen the deer. We don't know if you know this or not, but there is a family of deer that roams through our 7 acres, and it's quite beautiful. So we have, I'm gonna have to look at the chat to remember, birds and turtles, groundhogs and deer. Are we ready? And this might be our last verse. I'm not sure. Yes? Okay. Since I hear you, but I don't get to really hear you. So sing loud so I can hear you, right? Yeah. All right. The chat. Birds and turtles and groundhogs and deer. Here we go. 1, 2, teach it to your kids. On the grounds of UCL, I see birds and turtles and groundhogs and deer with tales to tell. Oh, the joy of all these birds and turtles and groundhogs and deer, roaming 7 acres so free. Home of our community, nature's home is sanctity. If you haven't spent time on our grounds, come over. Help out with the 7 acres. We are getting, I think we maybe already have some butterfly habitats back there. We have our memorial garden. And it really does tell quite a story from the beginnings of the first humans who were here, the Hopewell, the Shawnee, on up through the present time.
Thank you, Sally. For the blessing of animal companions, we give thanks. For the animals unknown to us, those whose niche in life's web is fragile, whose lives are insecure, for all who care for them and wish them well, we give thanks. For blessed are the animals, blessed are the creatures who live with us and need our care. Blessed are the mammals and the reptiles and the birds who teach us we are not alone. Blessed are all living things from whom we learn to love. And I would like to have you bring your chalice back for our extinguishing of our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Before you go well and loved, we would like to have people stay and share your animals. We'll get a chance for everyone who wants to speak, and we will show your lovely friends on the screen. May you go well, may you go loved, and here are our announcements. Photo directories are available at the church, and I will be out there today from about 12:30 to 2, wearing a mask, socially distancing, and handing out the photo directories. If you have your picture in the directory, you get one for sure. If you have any questions, please let us know, or we will find another way to deliver them. And as always, please read your e-news. It is a great way to know what's going on in the life of the church and to connect with our community. If you have any questions, it will tell you how to reach the pastoral associates, how to reach our ministers on call while Reverend Brian is on his sabbatical for 1 month. And let us share the screen so we can see all these beautiful faces. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand and we will spotlight your video. Can we start with Steve and Marie?